but it took, when I was doing those demos, it was like 1984 or 1985, because I was using music, like Soft Cell and The Cure and Devo and
I just imagine
and
you with your puffy little Sony Walkman headphones
yeah,
and having to
Sony
hit play.
Walkman.
Oh shoot, it didn't play. I wasn't queued up.
Exactly. And and I'd have to go to I'd go to not Fry's, but Radio Shack, and
Oh yeah, right.
special jack so that you could put two headphones if you're demoing it, because I demoed it to a lot of executives and they all really liked the idea. They were like, when can we have it? It's like, well, apparently you can't, because the technology's
so what was your favorite, if you did test one, let's say like The Cure, was there a good Cure song that sounds great on Space Mountain if I wanted to put in my earpods?
One of these days I'm going to remix all of those and put them online.
Oh, that'd be great.
There's two online right now, which is the Haircut 100 Boy Meets Girl, which was the one that worked out best for, that I liked the rhythm, and it just had a good tempo to it. Had nothing to do with space whatsoever. Yeah. But the one that sold the idea was E.T., a John Williams score.
Oh yeah.
And it just happened to work because there's a lot of apprehension in a lot of the pieces in ET, anticipation and apprehension. And with those three different lifts, that you go up, you needed, something that was kind of building and building. And so that worked out. The Black Hole worked out kind of good too, except, it was a flop.
Nobody remembers that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember all the different, I have it all written down. In fact, I'm sure I still have the 4-track.
Oh, that's great.
The cassettes that I used a 4-track mixer on. I'm sure I've got those somewhere. And I think the Attraction might have a slightly different timing profile now. I mean, it's pretty much the same track, but I would want to go back and create a new.
You can sense the different, the issues.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. But two of them are online on YouTube. If you look up, I don't know, maybe it's Space Mountain Onboard Audio, and it has a little beep, so you can, you can put it on and go on Space Mountain, and when you hear the beep, that's when and then I called it the nominal speed. And so they just, got familiar with me, and I was doing that for probably 2 or 3 months. And then taking executives on it. And then I got busy with other things and put it aside, and it didn't come up again for about 5 years.
Well, that's an interesting blend of, or sort of understanding of the two camps. There's the on-site camp, and I've worked with a lot of smaller theme parks or smaller family entertainment centers where that's just how they live. They're just living, hey, we better turn up the lights in here. We got to do this other change. We got to make this quick change. Whereas over in Imagineering or whatever the home office is, they're doing this global shift and change and broader decisions, which sounds, both are very exciting.
It's like the difference of working in film versus the working in advertising.
Right.
TV in the middle, but advertising, it's all about, the next thing, next week, next month. And,
we got about 5 minutes. We got about 5 minutes left. Anybody want to charge in with ideas, thoughts, questions?
Well, I don't know if we can talk about it in 5 minutes, but
give it a shot.
I want to build upon the first two questions. We talked about digital and traditional skills and having an architecture and a degree in architecture. And I've been thinking here at Ringling.
Integrated kind of system of architecture. And I think there were maybe two licensed architects who were designing the buildings, and the rest were set designers or just really good draftsmen that if they didn't know that architecture, a couple of them were immigrants from Poland, and I'm sure they weren't taught, Midwestern maybe they were, but I doubt that they were taught Midwestern architecture. And so they made use of thankfully the Disney studio had a huge library, for the benefit of the animators, but now for the benefit of the Imagineers. And so all it really takes is an understanding. You get a couple of really good books of how the moldings are put together, or how the door jams, or, all of that kind of complicated nitty gritty stuff is shown very clearly in books, that break it down. And so these guys just figured it out. And there were two women draftsmen that nobody knows about. But they were mostly set designers from the different studios, and they knew how to do this, and they knew how to jump from one genre to the other. Not because it was all embedded, sometimes it was embedded in their head, but they knew how to take the research and the reference material and assimilate that into what they were doing. So I would recommend against getting an architecture degree. You don't want to be an architect. Someone told me that when I was in high school. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't want to be an architect? But then I found out why I didn't want to be an architect. And the drafting and the spatial understanding was kind of enough, to get me going on designing, cool buildings.
And plus you're partnering with architects who are
right
there to accomplish that vision.
That's right.
For the most part.
That's right.
Does that answer your question, Stella? Is that?
Yeah, completely. Thank you.
Good. Well,
hopefully it's relief.
It is 1:29. We're going to wrap it up just to honor everybody's time. Again, I'll let Tom sort of wrap this up, but if you want to connect with him, I know he's big on Twitter, a lot of content coming out, a lot of really cool and interesting things. But Tom, how else can people connect with you?
Through here, I guess, through this system, this group, or on the website that was demonstrated. But I'm on Twitter and on Instagram. And I try to answer a lot of questions. I'm kind of at the I'm at the peak of my putting the book together in a mock-up to submit. And so I've been kind of nose to the grindstone lately. But I try to get to every question. And sometimes I don't go onto Instagram or Twitter for several days, so be patient. And sometimes it takes me a while to get back, but you just, feel free to reach out and, ask away.
Perfect. Well, we will make you available on themeattraction.com. So keep that in mind, guys. And there's also a really actually a couple of good podcasts that Freddie and Tom did
That's
together.
right.
So there's some good information on there as well. So, all right, we're going to end this breakout room and then join the main session and then close that too.
Thanks, Tom, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, we're going to have both. Thank you, Tom. We're going to have both recordings. I've been kind of jumping back and forth just to sort of monitor, but we will have both recordings hopefully spliced together and made available to all of you so that you don't miss anything. But thank you, Tom. Thank you, Freddie, for hosting. And yes, we will go back to the main room now, if we would, and then we'll end the whole session. Okay.
All right. Ciao.
All right. Thank you.
I don't know how to go back.
Yeah, I don't either. Actually, I do. So.
I'm assuming when you close me out, I'll just appear in the.
Yeah, you hit the leave room button at the.
How do I go?
Oh, okay.
The leave room? There it is.
Is
I'm
it
blind.
down at the bottom?
Leave breakout.